How old are you in 7th grade?
Man, like 12, 13.
Is that what you
Really?
are?
Yeah.
Yeah, 12.
Something
I feel like
that.
they're getting younger.
Yeah, I don't know.
7th grade, I feel like I was 15 in 7th grade. Was that? Am I wrong about that?
Because every male in my
I
generation.
probably was. You didn't
Yeah,
was- Yeah. Like, so.
for the better of the
yeah,
world.
yeah, right,
Yeah.
exactly.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the A&A show. Here we got the trio. I'm
the
fired
trio.
up for this one, baby.
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
like it a lot.
That's right. Sitting to the right of me, you guys already know the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Austin Zaback. We actually decided, we're like, you know what? We finished another episode, which will be episode 16, which will be dropping, which happened to be Eric Troutman, the ATM King. So definitely go check out that episode. It was a phenomenal one. We figured, you know, Brendan Gray. For those of you that don't know Brendan Gray here, ladies and gentlemen, this is the intro of all intros. I got to steal the show here for a quick second and just talk about how much of a stud you are. Not only is Brendan the closer of all closers, Eric thought he was the closers. If you guys don't know who Eric is, he was the last episode. He said he was a closer. But Brendan Gray, ever since I met this dude.
Yeah, literally.
I have literally called him the closer of all closers. And ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly what you are, bro.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You know, I saw it. Sorry, Zaback. I'll get you here in a sec.
Good.
I saw him. We were at an office that you know, it was we packed 35 sardines into that joint.
Sweet 118.
Sweet 118, and Brendan would pop in there every now and then. He was just on the Zaback group, right?
Yep.
He wasn't wholesaling and doing different things like that. You owned a pool company. You were more full time.
The
grass company.
Yeah,
excuse me. Owned the grass company. I don't know why I thought pool company.
Well, because I owned a pool company.
He owned a pool company, and I saw you pop in there every now and then, and I was just astonished on how hard and how intentional that Brendan was with when he did anything. You know, when he shook your hand, how you do anything is how you do everything. Can you turn up my headphones? So when I saw you pop into a 118 every now and then, and just the charisma that you had, bro, killed me, dude.
Yeah.
It was so cool, bro. You know what I mean?
Dude,
and I want to talk
unbelievable.
about obviously where you guys met, but for those of you that don't know Brendan Gray right now, he's actually one of our partners in our real estate company, doing, you know, a bunch of different deals, fix and flips, wholesale, buy, holds, rent, you know, traditional, all sorts of cool things. You're now out of the grass company in full-time traditional RE but mostly wholesaling company.
That's correct.
So
That's correct.
Hell of an intro, by the way.
Yeah.
Hell of an intro.
I'm excited for it.
I could add another 15-minute intro,
For
but
sure.
we'll get right into it.
Get right
you know what I
into
mean?
it. I like it.
But Brendan's a man.
It's an
you know what I
absolute
mean?
honor.
At the end of the day, and we wanted to have him on. This will probably be part one of part many. You know, we'll just kind of leave that an open deal because you know we can hop in here, we can do this whenever. You know, but yeah, Brendan's the man. You know. And we're just really blessed to have him on, you know, as a part of our inner circle, really, I guess, actually.
for sure.
Because you know, I never thought the day would come where I could find another Lewis. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And then Brendan came along.
Yep.
And I'm like, there he is right there,
There he
you
is.
know? Anyways, you know, at the end of the day, dude, we're just happy to have you.
Yeah,
we're
man,
happy to be here.
Yeah,
And
absolutely,
let's
for
dive
sure.
into it a little bit.
Yeah,
You know,
I like
let's
this.
dive into it a
Awesome.
little bit. You owned a grass company. Let's go back a little further, though. You know, Brendan's the man. By the way, guys, if you haven't already, go ahead and smash the subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Apple, Spotify, iTunes,
Stitcher,
Podcast, Stitcher,
anything.
you know, leave a review. If you can leave a review, if you can't leave us a review, you know,
5 stars.
do whatever you can do. You know,
right.
we'd really appreciate
Share us
it.
with a
We
friend.
don't ask for anything in return.
That's all we charge.
That's it, right? I sound like Andy Frisell. We got to get
for
a new little deal.
Yeah.
Andy, if you're listening to this, dude,
Smash the subscribe.
you're the freaking man, right?
was
So
a
Brendan,
5-star
let's
rating.
back it up a little bit. You're 25.
25 years old.
You know, but I mean, walk us back in time a little bit. Did you grow up in Arizona?
So I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland. Moved out to Phoenix. Basically from here. Been here for 20 years. I love it here. I got a smile on my face every single day here.
Yeah.
Like I honestly wouldn't rather be anywhere else. I want my home base to be, you know.
Why did you originally move to Arizona from Maryland?
My dad just moved here, corporate move. So
Got
it
it.
was, yeah.
What company did he work for at the time?
He worked for Honeywell.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Honeywell.
Yeah.
So he was, you know.
Yeah, he was selling, you know, so he was actually selling jet engines.
Oh wow.
Okay.
To places like,
sure.
you know, the government of like Israel.
Oh
for
yeah,
example.
for sure. Yeah,
For sure.
That's pretty cool. Does he still do
Yeah.
that?
He was involved in aerospace up until just recently.
Okay.
But now I'm dragging him into the real estate world.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
And then for the listeners, were parents together, parents not together?
Parents are still together.
Parents still together.
It's really, really cool.
That's
I
awesome.
live in the same house that I grew up in here for 20 years.
Oh, that's crazy.
So it's really, really cool.
That's incredible.
They want to sell it, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you went to school around here, Arizona. For a lot of people that listen, live in Arizona. But what school did you go to?
I went to Desert Vista.
Desert Vista.
Yep.
Okay.
Desert Vista
Very
over
cool.
there in Awatuki.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
I love Arizona. So.
Arizona. It's a little warm right now.
Yeah.
It's a little warm. 109
Yeah.
today.
Ooh,
Just depending on when we drop the podcast.
It
right?
might be
So
118 when you guys
could be
hear it.
118. Probably will be 118.
Yeah, probably
that'll
will
happen
be.
quick.
Yeah,
So you
it
go
is.
from grow up fairly normal house, would you say, kind of? Or?
It was, so we were well off, definitely well-to-do family. I personally, so it was a very affluent community, though.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you're kind of, for me, the way I look at it, like we're always good. Like, we always had lived in an amazing neighborhood, like all that good stuff.
Yep.
But I always saw people with a lot. You
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what I
for
mean?
sure.
So that's
For
what
sure.
was like, I literally look out my window in a deal we have, right now, actually locked up in this like prestigious community. I look out my window and it's like this mountain, like Larry Fitzgerald used to live up on it. Like that was my view every day. I would just look at that.
For sure.
Oh,
You know
that's
what I'm
For
saying?
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so did your parents kind of did they like were they some parents are like, look, Brendan, you got to go to school, get
Yeah.
your grades, right?
Oh,
You
man.
got to corporate. Did they push corporate on you?
Corporate, bro.
They did.
Corporate,
Okay.
bro.
So they pushed
Corporate,
that
bro.
on you hard.
Yeah, I would say so. It's like, hey, the secure route. And
Right.
it's just because,
Sure.
the way that, is.
That's
the
that's
kind
their
of
generation, right?
Yeah, for sure.
They're that's how they grew up.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's how they were taught.
So
Yep.
I kind of, at a very young age, I was, me and my sisters, for example, we would go put up flyers on the mailbox. Hey, we'll walk your dog. We'll watch your dogs while you're out of town.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll make money. I was
So
an
you were trying to-
entrepreneur from like,
Yeah.
You just didn't know it.
I even forgot about that until just right now. Like, holy
Right.
crap, man! Like,
Yeah.
Long time.
it's been forever now. I think.
Yeah,
about it.
for
You
sure.
know what I mean? Where I've
Yeah.
been going after those, endeavors.
Yeah. I love
That's
it.
so cool.
I love
man.
it.
Yeah.
I love it. So you, what kind of kid were you in school, man?
Yeah.
That's kind of good, cool. You know,
Yeah. You guys about
I'm fired up for this here, right? Because
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
there's not
too.
many times you sit down and you
Dive.
have
Chop
get to
it
have
up
it,
like
yeah,
this.
like
Yeah.
this. I get it.
You
I
know?
mean, shoot, you know what I mean? We have discussions, but
Yep.
gosh, I
Yeah.
didn't. I mean, I know what grades this cat got.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for
It's
sure.
Part of why we're half friends,
Man,
Yeah, yeah.
I was a
Very well.
troublemaker, dude.
Yeah.
I was a troublemaker,
Makes
but I
all the sense
always
in the
got
world.
good grades.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
I always just got by with like a B average.
Okay. Yeah,
You know
for
what
sure.
I mean?
Yeah,
So
for
to
sure.
keep my parents off my back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
could,
that's
like
mainly
still.
what it was for.
Were you like honors though? Like were you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
No.
just like, but you were in,
Yeah.
but regular classes.
I'd basically get my homework done.
Got it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
sure.
could pass the
Get your
class.
homework
You know what I
done.
mean?
For sure.
Do decent on the test.
Do
you know what I
decent
mean?
on the test. You average out at like
You
a
average
B
out.
minus.
Yeah,
You
for
know
sure.
what I mean?
Which isn't bad, right? Which isn't bad. That
Yeah.
would have been enough to get you. Had you gone? So okay. So let's like right there, right? Did you ever think you were gonna go corporate? I mean, like. Is there ever a
Man.
time where you're like, okay, like this is real. I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna get a degree. I'm gonna go do that whole thing. Was there ever
At
time?
a moment in time, I was like, I'm gonna go into the military.
Okay,
Because
What,
all of
what
my
age was this?
military?
This was like, believe it or not, like 7th grade type.
Okay.
You know,
Seventh
a little
grade.
bit earlier.
How old are you in 7th grade?
Man, like 12, 13.
Is that what you
Really?
are?
Yeah.
Yeah, 12.
Something
I
13.
feel
like
like they're
that.
getting younger.
Yeah, I don't know.
7th grade. I feel like I was 15 in 7th grade. Was that?
Yeah.
Am I wrong about that?
Because every male in my
I
generation.
probably was. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah. Like, so.
for the better and the
Yeah,
worse.
yeah, right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Anyways, 12
So,
or 13.
yeah, like-
7th grade.
I was thinking military. You know what I
Military.
mean? Every male in my generation, like
Yep.
every male generation in my family, like going
They
back
all went to the
basically
military.
was like
For sure.
military. So I was like, oh, I'm going to go do that.
And you wanted to do that
And I wanted to
for
do
quite
that.
some time.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there was, for some reason I was just like, yo, I'm not going to get all these things that I want if I,
Right. Right.
in my head, that's
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
was
yeah,
doing.
yeah,
for sure.
for sure.
Wait, so at what point did you decide?
Yeah.
Hey, it's not military is not
Yeah.
not going to happen. You know what I mean?
Probably 8th grade.
8th
Okay.
grade.
To be
So
honest.
it didn't
Okay.
it didn't take long.
Yeah.
So
It went
you knew
from
pretty
7th to
quick.
8th.
Like 7th grade, I remember writing like a paper,
Yep.
like this is what I want to do.
Yeah, for
8th
sure.
grade, I was a
Yeah.
completely different world.
For sure.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
for
mean?
sure.
Yep.
For sure.
And then 8th grade, what happened? Sorry.
So I just started like anything entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
Just started clicking in my head.
Got
You
it.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the way through high school.
I love it.
So
Yeah, I love that.
Interesting.
Okay.
yeah.
And I guess, gosh, okay, I like this here.
Yeah.
So it started being entrepreneurial, but prior to eighth grade, really, you were still walking dogs and watching dogs,
stuff like that,
babysitting, doing different things
I
like
didn't
that
really
to make
know.
some money. But you didn't know you were an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So what in eighth grade? God, I'm just trying to think what I was doing, dude. In eighth grade, man, can I share with them what I was doing in eighth grade?
Dude, you were
what
out
you were probably
smoking
doing?
a doobie.
Yeah, for sure.
In the middle of Spokane, Washington.
Yeah.
You were snowboarding behind a gosh dang.
I had highlights.
Yep.
Washboard abs.
Subaru. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Subaru. I think Honda Civic.
Still do have a
honestly.
Subaru.
Still have a Subaru.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
up to that point, like me and my friends were like already like hooligan little kids, like been
for
partying
sure.
up to
Yeah,
like
for
eighth
sure.
grade.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like very quickly, I was like, okay, I want to make my literally from that age on, I've been like pretty much that.
I feel like did we just have this conversation recently? Was it us that had the conversation of like our age group? We were a bunch of hooligans, like no matter where you were in the country.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it was me, you, and Cody V.
Okay.
And Tyler. Cody V and Tyler.
So I think you were
come
sick.
over.
You were sick or
you were
something.
sick. You didn't come
But
over
we
to the
had
house.
this big conversation about how everybody, no matter where you lived,
what
because
state,
they were
what city. I mean, I was in Washington. He was in growing fields, and then he was in Arizona.
And
we're all teepeeing houses. Ding dong ditch.
Teepeeing houses, paintball. You know what I mean? People's
mailboxes.
Oh, bro. You know. But I think that must have just been I'll have to ask the older generation sometimes. Did they do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just not. I think because you just get caught doing it these days.
Well, I don't know that kids do it these days.
Yeah, because you'll get caught.
Well, no, they're on
Yes,
Snap.
Tyler. He'll tell you he never did that.
No,
They're on Snapchat.
Yeah,
they're on
YouTube.
their living room. They're in their living room.
They're filming a TikTok.
Or they're watching the TikTok. You know what I mean?
Or their friends are filming them doing it.
Yeah, they got their iPad. I've seen these little kids. They got these kid-proof cases now, so you can give the kid the iPad at 2 years old.
Yeah, for sure.
And if it falls, it's like styrofoam and stuff.
Sheesh, it goes deeper than a submarine.
Yeah, unbelievable, right?
So what an eighth grade?
I was playing hide and go seek.
No, seriously, yeah,
You know what I
dude.
mean?
I was God dang.
We were probably like the last generation where we got those experience. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
we
so.
did.
Where we went crazy.
We were talking.
You know what
we
I
got
mean?
the best of both worlds. So if you're not a '90s baby, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
for sure.
I'm sorry. I mean,
our
'90s babies
generation, man.
experience stuff that most people didn't realize.
Unbelievable.
So what happened from eighth grade? Like I guess my like Eric last episode. I'm just saying that because we just had one with him. His realization was, yo, I'm gonna sell ATMs because some guy walks in to buy a car and is like, yo, I'm gonna go get cash $500 out of an ATM, and instantly right there was that moment that he's like, I'm going to start an ATM business.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I had that similar to myself. You know, I walked into a room with 20, 30, 40-year-olds making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month, but never showing up to work. You know, they would literally, I would watch guys literally wear pajama shorts or pajama pants and a suit and tie because they were going to get on like a Skype or something. And they just did it right from their living room. So then and there is when I was like, dude, I want to be an entrepreneur.
For sure.
Gosh, you know what?
I think I remember. I want to make money.
What it is honestly, so I'm pretty sure that was 2008.
Okay.
You know what I
So
mean?
the market crashed.
The market crashed. I remember going to math class and my math teacher was like, the world's over. Your parents probably lost everything.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da.
For sure.
And I was like, and then, it was probably a little bit rough for my family around that time, right?
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm not going that route.
Yeah.
Like corporate.
Yeah.
I'm just not going that route.
Did they
You know what I mean?
make it known that they were having a rough time, or did you just come to the conclusion?
Oh no, I hear it all,
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So
and I'm
you
a
knew
smart kid.
you
Like
picked
a
up on the
smart
fact
kid.
that maybe there's some financial issues.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Early, and even it's because like from the whole time, my friends. Here's an example. Good friend of mine gets $20 for lunch every single day.
For sure. 100%.
You know what I'm saying? That's like the classic story, right?
Yeah.
I don't see $20
Right.
ever. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So it's like,
I
got my pack lunch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like, I'm like, there's, I see what like I said, everything was cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Great upbringing, but like, I have nothing to complain about, but I just wanted like way
sure.
more.
Way
I
more,
was just
for
like,
sure.
okay, there's massive abundance. Like I see what people have. I got to grow up in like a really cool spot. It was probably like a dream,
Yeah, for sure.
situation.
I like it.
For sure.
I like it a lot.
So, what was your first entrepreneurial like journey? You know what I mean? Like, what was your venture that you just got into?
It was like the real, you know what I mean?
The real
Basically
deal.
like selling vehicles. So that's like probably the real thing where you start seeing real money.
For sure.
So my buddy's dad actually worked for Ride Now Motorsports.
Okay.
So they get all the hundreds of wheels.
For
You
sure.
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
Yeah, for sure.
they can't sell or whatever,
Yeah,
for whatever
yeah,
reason,
yeah.
he's got the in. They let a couple of them go every week or so to the employees.
Right.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Right, right.
deal.
We take those and we start selling them.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
That was like where I started seeing, thousands and thousands of dollars.
And that was
at the
when?
same time I worked. That was probably like freshman year of high school.
Oh,
Freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
and you're 15 or 16 there, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm 25.
Yeah.
Well,
Freshman year in high school.
So that's the year after 8th grade, essentially.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Now,
We graduated, guys.
at the same time, I have a minimum wage job.
Right.
Too.
Okay.
So I'm
For
just
sure.
like, I'm just trying to
Where
stack
at?
bread at Makudu's Island. If you
Makudu's
guys
Island.
are
I've
familiar.
actually never heard of
No.
it.
You've never heard of it?
Well, gosh, it sounds familiar, but where
It is right off of Ray Road in like 56th.
So it's like- So it's obviously
You got it. Yeah, it's like right Chandler.
Okay, got
Right
it.
across the
Got it.
I-10.
Really?
So it's like this little
Interesting.
kid's play place.
Okay.
Yeah, I've for sure been there.
Okay.
And like my first job was you sit inside this tree
I think I know
Okay.
exactly
and
where
you
you're
just
talking.
do nothing. You know,
Yeah,
what
I know where.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
sit
yeah,
there.
yeah. I know where you're talking. I've
Okay.
been there
And
before.
Interesting.
yeah, it was a cool situation. Like literally all my friends worked there.
Yeah.
So
That's super
sick.
cool.
it was cool.
So you did that. You did that for what?
Your
A couple
freshman
years?
year.
Or-
Yeah, I did that. Actually, dude, I think I did that like pretty much through high school while like, selling vehicles and, whatnot
Tires
on the
and
side.
stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, cool. And then what? Right? Do you go right from that to real estate?
So from here I go into community college.
Yep.
I was entrepreneurial mind. I'm
Right.
watching Fix and Flip. So actually I'm watching Fix or Flop.
Okay.
Yep.
Flips
Yeah,
or
yeah,
flop.
yeah.
Little
Shoot.
shout out
Didn't
there.
we all?
Unfortunately,
Tarek and-
Tarek Al-Musa.
Tarek and Christina.
Yeah, yep, I think so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
For sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, right?
at least I saw on there like, okay, they're like, are we gonna flip
Yeah.
this house or are we gonna lose money? So
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
well, I love flipping things, you know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I
for
mean?
sure.
So like,
And you've been flipping things.
yeah, so I'm
Yep.
like, I'm getting into that, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, 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 for
And so I go to community college on the side. I'm getting my real estate license, and then it's just like college and real estate license. And I'm
Right.
like, hey, one or the other. And then I stopped going to college.
What were you going to college to do?
Like no idea.
Oh, got
You
it.
know what I
Okay.
mean? Just
So
going to like
community
for
college,
my
you go to
parents.
community
You know what I
college.
mean? They wanted
sure.
me to go to
Right.
college because that was like the corporate. You
Sure,
know, they're
yeah.
like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
you
for
gotta
sure.
go to
You were
college.
going to figure it
right?
out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't want to go to a regular college. Didn't want to pay for a regular college. Went to community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's how it works.
So you get your license now, right? You get your real
Yeah.
estate license.
Get my real estate license. And then from there, at some point I actually came across you.
Okay.
So I came across you somewhere on the internet because I was looking into fix and flipping and I was looking into, all that stuff because that's why I got my license.
right.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So first thing I got my license, I'm like, okay, well now I'm going to start looking around. And I called a bandit sign actually, which many of you probably see
Bandit
laying around
Yeah.
Yeah,
your cities.
for sure.
And like
Yep.
Every
they're
corner?
just, all over the place.
Right.
Just
Stop
like
sign?
we buy
When you-
houses
when
on
you-
a white sign.
Now you
Yep.
know what a bandit sign is,
Or a
ladies
yellow
and
sign.
gentlemen. Or a yellow one.
I call it, and
Yep.
it's Net Worth Realty.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Uh-oh.
Yep. Well, I think we're doing a deal with them right
I
now.
think I
maybe.
just bought one of their.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll
Yep.
see.
And so, yeah, man. And I met with them. They're like, hey, basically, here's what wholesaling is. And
Yeah.
like, I figured it out.
Yeah.
And then I came across you on the internet.
Yep.
And that, pretty much the rest is history as far as,
Yeah.
One thing leads to the next,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
for sure.
There's a full story in between that.
Sure,
too,
sure,
right?
sure.
of
Yeah,
course.
that's like a whole nother deal. But the long story short is you got. I mean, to my knowledge, right?
Yeah.
You joined. Whatever happened between then and then, but then you joined the Zaback group.
Yep.
You're like what? I think you're like the first agent or second agent or something
Yep.
on the team, and like Austin, how Austin introduced or Lewis introduced. It's so weird calling you Austin. How Lewis introduced Brendan to just the hardworking. That's exactly what I saw, right?
Yeah.
So I just see this dude that just is willing to hustle,
Stud. Yeah.
right? Willing to do whatever it takes. But like actually, right? Like actually do whatever it takes, and then like he does what he says he's gonna do.
Yeah.
For like a year, right?
Yeah.
Straight, and
Yeah.
and he was always the first one there, last one to leave. And then also just a really genuine guy, which you don't see a lot of.
Yeah.
Right? Like you see a lot of good people, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good people that have a good heart, a good mind, a good soul. They want to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of like genuine
For sure.
people out there
Yeah.
in the world. Brendan's one of
Thank
them.
you, man.
Yeah.
So, then
Not a selfish bone in the body.
no.
Yeah.
And so then we had a couple things happen, right? You might be looking into getting into wholesaling or something, right? And we actually ended up starting a wholesale company, the three of us together, which is what we're currently doing now, right? Obviously, we still have the traditional real estate. We have the ATM deal. We do some for some passive income, right? And that's pretty much. I mean, we have the marketing company. We don't do a ton with that right now, But the wholesaling operation is slowly but surely.
Oh man.
I can see the trajectory.
Yeah.
And the wholesaling company will end up doing what we didn't think would happen this fast, which is going to be pass all of the other companies.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we're all starting to divert energy now, right?
Yeah.
Because we're all starting to see it.
Yeah.
And we're going, just full blown, full speed ahead.
For sure.
Which is really cool to see.
Yeah. Oh man.
For sure.
So now here we are today. What does an average day look like for you?
Man,
Just wholesaling, obviously.
running the wholesale operation, to the best of my ability every single day.
Yep. So you're like
I'm living the dream.
living the dream. I love it.
It's my actual dream.
Yep.
To be partnered with you guys, to be helping alongside you guys build so many cool things and build up so many people and help so many people.
For sure.
So I'm living the dream.
Yeah, I love it. Well, and we appreciate that. We're living the dream, right?
Feeling is mutual.
The feeling is 100% mutual. So
what's the tactical stuff, right?
So every day, we're in the office. Yep. I actually live right upstairs from the office. So on any given
moved
day,
in right after we
we did.
out.
Which actually worked out perfect.
Because
we probably wouldn't have been able to do that so seamlessly.
For sure.
Because somebody needs to be here to kind of unlock the office.
Sure.
And I love it here, man.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of an interesting thing. We'll have to regroup on that at some point, but we got to figure out who the next person will eventually be. To move into the Optimum. Because it's kind of a forced deal. All right, next in line. Come on, you're moving in now.
That is so funny.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, but man, so I'll come down here in the morning, sometimes, and I'll walk my dog, come into the office like at the very latest if I didn't before 8:30, come back in, get the guys get rocking and rolling, and just it's crazy, man. It's like it just seems like nothing to me because it's just like habit, what I mean? I just show up and I just.
We've got marketing. We've got marketing that goes out.
We've got marketing,
all sorts of different marketing. That we send out. Whether that be emails or texts or phone calls or direct mail or whatever. Right. So we got marketing that goes out, and then
training.
Training.
We've got a lot of people.
Yep.
And we're constantly trying to build the people, the infrastructure, the systems and processes. So that's really what a day-to-day looks like.
Where do you see wholesaling in? I mean, I don't know, 180 days, 6 months. Our wholesaling company.
I see us being number one. That's
for sure.
In my heart.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I'm glad we said that.
That's in my heart.
I like that.
We got to document it. You know what I mean? That way when it happens, it's like, look.
Yeah.
You know how Gary Vee does that? Gary Vee will say something.
Yeah.
And then he'll pull it back and he'll be like, look, I said that.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I wouldn't say it if I didn't truly believe it in my heart.
No, I really do believe it. There's
100%.
There's we know who our competition is, and we want what's best for them, obviously.
For sure.
But we want to definitely just scoot past them just a little bit. You know what I mean? And just
Yep.
So I love it. What does that look and feel like? More markets, more people, more markets, more
offerings.
Yep.
So we're expanding. We do a lot of traditional real estate alongside with just doing fix and flips and wholesales and the investment stuff. We really are looking to build up the traditional side. We want to build portfolios. We want to do developments, on a much grander scale than just, like a fix and flip.
For sure.
Yeah, I love it.
It's a lot of fun.
Just real quick, too, I know we've done a couple other episodes with some other people that have done wholesaling or whatever the case may be. But if you guys are brand new here and you're like, man, I don't know what wholesaling is, because chances are it's probably high that you have no idea what the heck he's talking about.
What are these guys you've been talking about for the last 15 years?
For sure.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Educate them a little bit, the dumbed down version so Lewis can understand himself here. But, what is wholesaling? So for those of you that like real estate, been interested in real estate, haven't got started in real estate, don't have a ton of capital, or have a little bit of capital, this is probably the route for you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So essentially what we do is we do any number of marketing, whatever it is, and we find a lead of a seller, somebody who wants to sell real estate.
Okay.
We go ahead, we'll put that property under contract with legally binding contract. We then take that contract. If for some reason we feel we don't want to buy the property or whatever the reason might be, we'll take that contract and sell that paperwork to an investor who wants that contract for a fee in the middle, essentially.
So we're flipping the contract.
Flipping paperwork.
We're flipping paperwork.
Pushing paperwork around.
Yeah. We're paper pushers at the end of the day. We're right back to our 9 to 5. We work longer than we thought we would. We actually work more hours and do the same thing.
100%. But move the paperwork from here to here, and that's essentially what it is.
And a little bit of paperwork back here off the table and into the pocket. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
For sure. right? And you cut what's in the middle.
Yeah.
And you
cut what's in
decide
the
that.
middle.
I love it.
You decide that.
That
Whatever you can
is
sell it for.
wholesaling in a nutshell. And then obviously there's a lot of creative ways to do it. And
For
we,
sure.
you know, we do creative deal structure and subject to seller carryback, right? Lease options. You know, we're looking into starting a fund, right? An actual syndication fund where we'll go syndicate deals. Okay, we're going to look at multifamily, commercial, industrial, a lot of what is it, like opportunity zone type of stuff, right? So you know that'll be really interesting as well. And then like development, right? Like you talked about, I think a minute ago, but the idea is like development. You know, ground up, like go by, you know, get the dirt,
100%.
tear down, ground up type of development, whatever. So wholesaling is kind of the gateway.
It is.
Right?
It is.
Ultimately.
And I want to, you know, perfect it, you know, as much as I like. What I believe is why we'll be number one is that, you know, our service will be better.
Right.
You know, we're
For
going to
sure.
provide a better option.
Yeah.
A better option, right, for the seller.
A better option for the wholesaler.
For the investor.
For sure.
And then more. Right. We want to do it bigger.
For sure.
More people. Right. More marketing. More markets. More infrastructure. Right. And ultimately just do it bigger. I mean, there's 330 million people that live in the United States of America. There's not that many wholesalers, really, if you think about it, right?
For sure.
I mean, there's a lot, but there's also, the markets kind of up and down, right?
All the time, especially after quarantine, there's really a lot less wholesalers.
In a down market, people get out. It's just kind of the circle of life or the cycle of business in general. So
we'll never stop. You know what I mean? And that's just the thing is like you could never, like I'll never.
Wholesaling is the cash flow business, right? And then you invest the money into the things that are the long-term deal.
Keep it rolling, baby. It's kind of what Austin and I talk about all the time. We're like, man, sometimes it's like you'll sit down and you'll do some reflecting, or you'll look at the books and you look at what's going on. You look at what you've added, right? You go from here to now doing all these other different things. And I think people listening, and even when I was listening to like something like this, you know, I was like, okay, I'm going to start 10 different things. But our mentors, realistically, I'm speaking on behalf of our mentors, they are like, hey, go make $10,000 or go make $20,000 a month with one thing. And then after you do that, then start adding 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 different deals, right? And I think that's what's so spectacular in the, you know, what the operation that essentially our wholesaling company has, right?
For sure.
I think us knowing where it all comes from, right? The cash flow comes from wholesaling. Sweet. Okay. Let's perfect wholesaling, right? Let's perfect wholesaling. And then let's get into buying properties. And then let's get into all the other, you know, very lucrative ways
There's a lot of
that you can do. So, like, for those of you that are listening, I mean, you know, you don't have to do buy and holds if you don't want to, right? Like, you don't have to own a property and rent it out. Like, you could literally, essentially, just wholesale houses. Now, obviously, our recommendation would be to get some properties of yourself, but use that money to do that.
Move quick. You know what I mean? You can start wholesaling and then move quick.
For sure.
And get into other stuff.
And it's more risk free. It's just it's like Lewis said, you can start with nothing. Turn something out of nothing.
For sure. Literally, not. I mean, like $500, $100. Basically nothing, right?
Sure.
I mean, probably
depending
even
on who you are,
nothing.
you could literally do it with nothing.
You could do it.
Depending,
I love it.
If you have a couple $100, it would be a little bit
better.
But you could do it nothing. You could.
You literally could. I mean, door knocking's free.
$1 for earnest money, but you could get $1.
And you just leverage
just to
someone
make
else.
it real.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always like, there's money out there. You don't need money.
Where there's a will,
you know what I
there's a
mean?
way. No.
All this stuff, you know, it just requires attention. Not
for sure.
Even money.
So what would you say the number one? Because we're going to do multiple parts to this, right? Brendan's, you know, we're all right here. Our studio's in our office. We're right down the hallway. We're right down around the corner.
So
it'll probably be part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. You know, we'll just keep it going. But you know, for part one, you know, here we are, right? You've been a part of the Zaback group for probably 14 or 15 months now. Now we've been partners in wholesaling for 6 months, give or take.
I would say,
And we're our trajectory really is it's starting to momentum. We're starting to catch momentum.
Sure.
And it's really starting to go uphill, like fairly quickly, right? You know what? But like you've gone through so much, you've been through so much, right?
It's crazy.
You know, it's crazy.
It's hard
right?
to even talk about like all of it in such a
for
short
sure.
period of time.
No, for sure.
Impossible.
It's impossible. Which is why we're going to follow up and follow up and follow up. But what would be a piece of advice to any younger entrepreneur out there, younger person, younger version of yourself? You know, just wanting to make some money, wanting to get their foot in the door in business. You know, maybe doesn't know what they want to do with their life. Like, what would that be?
Get started.
Yeah,
that's right.
Just get started. Boom. And that's the secret.
I love
to
it.
getting ahead. Mark Twain.
Just like do it. Just do it.
That's actually, and like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
You could see that on like an Instagram post of mine from like high school.
For
For
sure.
sure.
You know what I mean?
Like people like are overcomplicate it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it prevents them from getting started. Is what you're saying?
100%.
They overthink it.
There's too many little things that aren't right with the CRM.
Overanalyze it. It's
There's
dude,
too many. You know what I'm
Put
saying?
it on the legal pad.
Yeah. Like
sure.
we had the word like it's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Dude.
Our
You don't
CRM was
need
like,
anything.
no.
You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
go and work. Like,
Work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Round it
obviously when you're trying to scale, but
Yeah.
Sure, but yeah, you
Implement.
can't scale from the
When
very
you're
be-
getting started.
When you're at zero times zero is zero.
Zero.
How are you gonna scale?
Yeah.
to somebody getting started, just get started.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
actually that simple. That's kind of how.
That's a big
Yeah,
nugget.
yeah.
I wish
Yeah,
we had
yeah,
our little
for sure.
nugget button
Yeah,
down,
little nugget
like a bomb. We want to do that eventually.
Boom.
Talking
Yeah.
to our the producer, the man with the
Instead-
plan behind the camera.
That's
We
right.
need a little bomb button. So it's
Instead,
like,
right now, we're playing what's popping.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
go.
I love it. I love it. Well,
too.
hey guys,
We're
we're
gonna
gonna
do
come back.
something
We're gonna
now,
do
number
part
2.
2, part 3, part 4, part 5.
Thank you, guys.
This is gonna be one to pay attention to. If you've ever want to
right.
get into real estate, you've ever
Yeah.
wanted to, become a wholesaler, fix and flip, we're going down every one of those paths, right?
Yep.
So we're all gonna come together and provide that knowledge,
Yep.
that value. Hopefully, we can get more into it. So if we didn't cover something you wanted us to cover, we'll cover it in part 2.
Yep.
Interact with us on Instagram. Interact with us on YouTube, right?
Yep.
In a comment section.
Yep.
Do a review on podcast.
Podcast, Apple, iTunes,
Shoot us a DM.
Stitcher.
We'll link Brendan's stuff down below in
Down
the
below.
description, everything like that.
Yep.
Subscribe if you haven't already, guys.
and
subscribe.
I mean,
it.
Brendan,
Brendan,
thanks for
coming
being
on.
on the
You
show,
guys,
brother.
it's an honor.
We really
About time.
appreciate you.
It was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Oh,
Yeah, it is.
unbelievable. All right, guys, we'll see you in the
love it.
next one.
See you guys.
Later.